Now we're working on the heater. If you connect front blue, do not disconnect. What? This upgrade right here is gonna save you $30,000. And holy crap. Look at all this restricted airflow. All that gunk and grime. It sounds a hell of a lot better. You're gonna need to watch this video because it's very important if you do not know what I'm talking about. So if you're a Hotshot trucker or if you own a 6.7 Cummins, you're gonna wanna watch this video. In this video, we're gonna be installing the Banks Monster Ram air intake. If you guys don't know anything about this thing, this is going to eliminate our grid heater issue that a lot of these 6.7 Cummins have. So there's a nut on the OEM grid heater and it likes to arc off and fall off into your piston and cause over $30,000 worth of damage. What we have here is this eliminates that problem. Just want to go ahead and say thank you to this video sponsor, Banks. Thank you for sponsoring this video. So if you're a Hotshot trucker or if you own a 6.7 Cummins, you're going to want to watch this video. This video here is to show you how truly easy it is to install this yourself. You don't need to take this to a mechanic. All you got to do, buy the whole kit. It comes with everything you need. Banks is looking out for us with this upgrade. Let's go ahead and get into installing the Banks Monster Ram air intake. All right, guys. Well, first things first, we're gonna go ahead and disconnect these batteries. So another thing, before we get started into this video and before we take off these battery terminals, I just wanna let you know, I have no mechanic experience whatsoever. Basically, I'm just following the directions from the Banks website. It tells you exactly how to do it. It tells you every single tool you need, which I will pop that up on the screen right now so you can screenshot it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Dude, what did I just do? I touched this to something else and it shocked me. All right, guys, simple enough. Batteries are disconnected. Now we're gonna remove this engine cover. Do not think you're gonna need this cover anymore after you take this off. You wanna pull this, and then you'll actually remove that. All right, guys, so next we're gonna be removing, pretty easy, but these cable harnesses that are on the CCV filter housing. Guys, once we get those removed, we're gonna remove all of the CCV filter housing bolts because we're gonna be removing this bracket right here because we don't need it anymore. All right, now that those are off, take this oil cap off. Kind of lift this up, put this oil cap back on so you don't get any dust or anything back in your engine. And then we're gonna take these two bolts off. Pretty simple, just same size. But reach down in here, grab that bolt. I'm just gonna put these back because why not? And then once you do that, you can remove the cap and then put this right back where it goes. Then you can go ahead and screw all these back on. All right, guys, so next step, you're gonna wanna remove the bolt underneath the EGR crossover tube. I think it's a 10 millimeter. All right, got that. All right, now you can grab this bracket. All right, so guys, now we're gonna be unlocking the temperature sensor plug from the EGR crossover. Push this over. There we go. And you pull that, and then you remove it by pinching it. There we go. You're gonna remove the EGR plug located right here. There we go. Boom. Next, we're gonna remove the screw and EGR temp sensor. Oh, dang. Look at all that soot. All right, now we need to loosen this bolt and this bolt. All right, next, we're gonna be removing the EGR bolts on the passenger side. All right, now we should be able to just grab this and remove this from the truck. So Banks actually gives you a new one of these, so same with all the other stuff. Toss it off to the side. All right, now we can go move over to this heat shield. All right, first you gotta remove all these cables out of your way. All right guys, so my other camera died, but there is a little 12 volt, the heater cable. It's gonna be right here. We're gonna remove that. Now we are going to be removing zip tie thingies around here. Remove those. All right, next we can go ahead and remove this from this bracket. Remove this bracket. All right, now once we have that dipstick tube off, we're gonna bend it up just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and loosen that clamp right here. So this does not need to be removed fully. It just needs to be like loosened to release like the tension on the hose. Now we're going to pry the boost tube hose off the throttle body. Like that. I know you can't see, but there's a little sensor underneath here. We've got to remove that. All right guys, now we're gonna go ahead and remove this forward PVC cable. Now we can go ahead and remove these 6 bolts on the elbow. I don't know. A little bit of overkill, but hey, rather be too long than too short. All right, now we should be able to lean the elbow, and then lean it like this, and then we can take off this sensor right here. Sorry you couldn't see that, but we got it unplugged. Now we can remove our old intake. You want to grab a rag. You're going to want to take this clamp off, put a rag over this, and then we're going to put the clamp back over this so nothing falls in here while we're working. All right, perfect, just like that. All right, first one off. FYI, these are not the easiest whenever you're working at a different angle. So my suggestion is be patient and just be careful, don't break stuff. You push this, boom. We're gonna grab these. We're going to move them here, and we're gonna remove this one right here too. Looks can be deceiving on this plug. All you have to do is move this. Don't touch these blue things. These are basically what holds the plug into place, so don't make the same mistake I did. We're gonna go ahead and disconnect this large harness right here. Push this in, pull this out, it just comes right out. All right guys, there's a similar plug from here. Same thing right here. We're gonna go ahead and remove that as well. All right, let's remove this PVC hose. All right, for this plug, we pulled that yellow tab, and then you put your screwdriver, in here like this and just pull up. Should come loose. Now we need to get in there and remove that bolt that's holding the dipstick up. Things are a little tight. That one's a little hard to get to as well. All right, so guys, we actually figured out you're supposed to cut this right here, and then we are able to pull all the cables out of the way and get to kind of where we need to get to. We're gonna place this rag over this little air intake right here, and then we're gonna start taking off these fuel lines. All right, and then every time you guys remove a fuel line, you're gonna wanna put a cover right over top of it, just like that. So something we're also gonna do, we're gonna put like a little piece of tape on these and just write the order in which we took it off. So this will be number 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., etc. for that back one. It says to pry it up and get it out of the way, but it's like nearly impossible to do that. So now we're gonna loosen the fuel feed line and remove this sensor right here. All right guys, got all that off. Now we're gonna throw a rag back here to catch the fuel, because we're gonna be lifting this up. All right, we're gonna wrap the bungee cord around here. This should simply slide right out. Wait, we forgot something. We got that damn clamp. All right, 5 seconds later, we got it off. Now, let's finally remove this. And holy crap, ours isn't too bad, but this bolt right here is what has been causing the engine damage. So this thing arcs off and falls into your cylinders, goes in there. $30,000 is gonna get you a new engine. So we're eliminating this by going with Mr. Banks, hooking it up. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just clean all this stuff off, vacuum all the debris, and then we're gonna get ready to put the new plate on. You guys can see ours really isn't that very bad. We've only got about 75,000 miles on this truck. All right, so Banks did include a gasket, so we're gonna go ahead and unwrap it. And we've got some spray adhesive, so we're gonna go ahead and spray the gasket. We're gonna spray the Banks side. There's a little Banks logo right there. All right, now we're gonna let it sit for a few minutes and let that glue kind of do its thing. We wait for that. This is what we're replacing that other plate with, and it is just, look at the details on that thing. Very, very nice. Comparing the two, here's the Banks, here's this one. Look at all this restricted airflow, all that gunk and grime. Here's the Banks. 9-day difference. 9-day difference. This is gonna save your engine, I'm not kidding. We are going to align the holes. Well, we're struggling for the last hour trying to figure out where this goes, because this was right here, and then on the new plate they don't have one. Well, that's because it mounts onto the actual monster round. So time to install it. All right guys, now we're gonna transfer all the parts from here over to here. All right guys, we're back up here. We've got everything done on the ground. Now time to the new plate in. Okay, release the bungee cord. Steel rail and studs in place. All right guys, now we are going to torque them down to 20 foot-pounds. Guys, we got everything torqued down. Now we're going to reinstall that washer and the banjo bolt on that fuel line. All right guys, we're gonna be putting these fuel rail lines at 41 foot-pounds. do not connect front blue. Okay. If you connect front blue, do not disconnect. What? All right, guys, don't use the old number 1. You're gonna replace that with one that they provide with you because the other one doesn't work. We will put our long bolt in. Now we're gonna use our magnet to drop her down and get it started. All right, so the directions do not actually tell me I needed this tool, so Brooklyn's on her way to get it. While in the meantime, we're gonna start hooking stuff up on the actual Monster Ram. For the new heater, let's go. All right, guys, what is up? I'm editing this video right now and I messed up. That heater coil that you're looking at right now that I'm setting inside, there is a bolt that you're supposed to use the magnet to gently telescope it down. Start it, make sure you put thread locker on it, start it by hand, like with the magnet, pull the magnet, and then screw it. I put everything together and forgot about this. I went to bed and was scrolling through the directions for some reason and told myself, I'm like, I'm just gonna go over the directions just in case I missed something, because I was going on a long trip the next day. And sure enough, I finally understood what the directions meant, and you're gonna see what happens after that here in about a couple minutes. But just wanted to update you guys and make sure that you guys don't make the same mistake I did. All right, babe to the rescue. We've gotten our stuff, and now we're gonna screw these in. Okay, they're all tight. Now we're gonna torque them down to 20 foot-pounds. Tighten boom clamp. Now we're working on the heater. Want to grab that for me? All right, we're gonna install this extender. All right, there we go. We're gonna put some Loctite on our bolt. All right, guys, now we can install the crossover tube. Well, we got the cover put on, EGR cover put on. It is time to go ahead and put on this heat shield. As you can see, we got this all torqued up. We've got all of our wiring harnesses back in. Got our little plate. Everything is secure. And yeah, I think only thing left to do, I believe, is connect the batteries back and start her up. All right, guys, it said the truck may take the 1 to 2 minutes to turn over. So we're gonna calculate like we just changed our fuel filters just in case. All right. Didn't take 1 to 2 minutes, but it started. All right, guys, well, we lost a little bit of fuel. The banjo bolt was not tightened correctly. Let's try this again. Are we leaking? All right. It sounds a hell of a lot better. I don't know why, but it sounds like it's running better. That's kind of crazy. All right, guys. Well, we are calling it for the night. We will check back with you tomorrow with a kind of overall test. I rode it around the block. You can definitely hear the air coming in. It's kind of crazy. All right, it's 11 p.m. and I realized I forgot a bolt, so we're gonna put that on real fast. Bruh. Yeah, because we've got to get the bolt.
You want to spray it, you said? Well, what happens if you lose it in there, Trent?
I know. It's gotta be, I gotta be really careful.
Yeah. Keep it?
I think it's gonna work.
Trent Odie.
Oh, I got it again. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Some of that yoke. YouTube it. Oh, a little bit. Recording right now? Yeah. All right, guys, we got the finished product. This is pretty cool.
What
the hell was that? Currently in New Orleans. Do a drizzle. What the f? Hi, yes, are you guys open?
Yeah, I'm open till 6:30.
Okay, sounds good. I'll be there soon.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.